Hi guys, this is my Roloff family update for May 2024. This month, Jeremy and Audrey had a baby. Tori and Zach are going through major issues. Matt keeps talking now that his NDA is over. Amy gets sad leaving Michigan now, and Jacob is busy planting like 200 trees. Matt Roloff did an interview this month with Entertainment Tonight. I don't know why, to be honest. He keeps saying, now that I don't have an NDA, I can talk. But this wasn't exactly a tell-all revealing interview. It's possible Matt just wants to milk the last of that Little People Big World publicity he can get, to promote maybe the farm, or I don't know, just the last little bit of publicity. Matt revealed that in 2010, the show was supposed to be over, but the executive producers came to them and made an exciting offer that they just could not refuse, and that offer was full of, let's say, family experiences. They got to do things they normally would never have had the opportunity to do. Amy ended up going to Mount St. Helens. The family went to Australia with Tori, by the way. And then Matt cries when he talks about how they wanted to continue so that more people could see the show and understand that little people are just like all of us. The intense rifts in the family, Matt alludes to in the interview as ups and downs, but that overall they accomplished a good thing. And there's been big sacrifices, he says. And, he doesn't really get into it, but Matt says that one thing that made the show tough on family relationships was watching things back 6 months later after there was maybe a bump in the road, he says, which I think he's putting this lightly. Not a bump in the road, like there was a divorce, there were major family arguments. Anyways, he says that having to watch it back and relive it caused issues, which is a super common thing for reality stars to say. I've heard this from many of them, like including the Kardashians. They even say that they have to relive the conflict. Matt also says that he would consider a TV wedding with Karen. Excuse me while I go throw up at the thought of that. Like, no one wants to see that, in my opinion. The host asked the $1 million question, is the show finally over? And Matt's not sure. This is what we wanted to know in the interview, but no real answer here. He's not sure. They're at least having an extended break, he says, but he doesn't know and doesn't think the network knows either, but that he's satisfied with how things wrapped up if it does end. In the end scene, Amy said something like, we're little people, and it's still a big world out there, which was very ending-ish, to be honest. As for Amy Roloff, lately she did go back to where her family's from in Michigan. She goes back regularly to visit her dad, and she had said under these pictures, heading back to Chris home. Heading back to Chris home. As I tell my grandkids when they don't want to leave Mimi's house, you have to leave so you can come back again. As my brother dropped me off at the airport, there's sadness. Can't I stay a day or two longer? Then I think, but I miss Chris and want to get back to him. I'll be back, Michigan. It may be a little different, but I'll be back. I had a great time hanging out with my dad, my brother and sister, and my good friend Ellen. She also actually went to Ireland with Chris lately, and she keeps on selling her fudge and going live to talk to fans alongside her friend Deb. Amy is all about promoting her cookbook called Eat, Love, Gather. Kind of makes me think of what was really popular back in the day, Eat, Pray, Love. The title? Anyways, very reminiscent of that for me. Overall, Amy is cooking a lot still. In this image, she had just made Chris meatloaf. Someone commented, Chris hit the jackpot with Amy, and I totally agree. She brings a lot to the table. For Mother's Day, Amy said that she hung out with Jacob, Jeremy, and his family, some grandkids, and talked to Molly and Zach. Really, Zach couldn't go over for a visit. He lives like 40 minutes away. What the heck, Zach? First, he doesn't go to her fundraiser. Now this. Why? Speaking of Zach, Tori and Zach have stepped up their influencer game with their podcast on YouTube since announcing that they're moving on from the show. Things have been a bit rough with them lately. They admitted that this month their life is a mess. They were all sick. Zach says he was never sick like that ever. They had some stuff go on in their house where they had to get new floors because they had a big leak. And Tori threw out her back and was in pain. And basically, all their family members also have birthdays in April or May, so lots going on there. So they took a break between seasons 1 and 2 of their podcast to deal with all these things going on, you know. So Tori said during her podcast that the Roloffs have zero emotions, zero empathy, zero sympathy, and she wants to vent, but they don't do that apparently, which is a pretty bold thing to say about your in-laws. And I also don't think that's true for some reason. I mean, I'm not in the family, but you know, Tori seems to just be wanting her distance from the Roloffs, and this is probably influencing Zach to do the same in some ways. That's my opinion, but I'm not in the family, so hard to tell, you know? Lila has to have her tonsils and adenoids out later this month or about now, so that is a health update for them. They revealed that all their kids apparently have sleep apnea, and Lila has a severe sleep apnea and Jackson has a mild form. Josiah has a sleep study coming up, and it's likely she thinks that he'll probably needs to have his stuff removed too. Apparently it helps with sleep apnea, so lots going on with Zach and Tori, house issues, health stuff, a new podcast adventure, so they're navigating that. Also looks like they're in season 2 of their podcast. Didn't they just start their podcast like a month ago? How are we already in season 2? And how do podcasts decide when to have a new season? Make it make sense. And guess who else has had a podcast for a while? Jeremy and Audrey. They also have a lot going on. They just had a baby, a little girl, and their 4th child on May 23rd. They also have just finished a major renovation to their new home. A renovation that took what seemed like forever, honestly. Jeremy posted so many updates about it. Who can forget him talking about the island in his new kitchen for like a million years? And they had to temporarily even move in with Audrey's parents. Jeremy is actually dealing with a health issue of his own this month. He opened up about a major back situation he's been dealing with that has flared up, so poor Jeremy can't even stand up straight these days. So he had said, "I've had recurring lower back pain for several years now that completely demobilizes me for days or even weeks. Given the health journey I've been on, this is now my primary focus and problem to solve. It seems like it's possibly a classic case of mobility loss causing imbalances and therefore improper muscular compensation that causes this. Last time it happened, about a month ago, I had x-rays and MRIs to rule out any disc issues and all look good. Whatever it is, it causes me to not be able to stand up straight, look over my shoulder, lift things, or even sneeze without having to get into a child's pose. Bad timing considering we have a 4th baby that was due yesterday. Hoping it settles down quickly so I can be fully present and capable." And yeah, so that sucks. I hope that, even Tori has back issues. Hopefully all their back issues get better quickly. Audrey just posted that the baby was born a girl on May 23rd and that she's soaking up all the cuddles. And baby is, 3 days old. So excited for them. And this is Matt and Amy's 8th grandchild. The only one who does not have a baby yet is Molly. And Jacob Roloff has been busy working on Roloff Farms, planting a lot of trees. He says he's planted at least 200, and so I'm sure maybe maybe they're planning on selling more fruits now because a lot of the fruits I think were trees were fruit trees. I remember when they used to sell peaches back in the day in the early seasons, and also his son Mateo, who I don't know why I didn't remember this or know this, but Matt says that Mateo's named after him, which is super cute. And he's very blonde now, by the way, and he likes to play with the chickens. And also, Jacob likes to post a lot about Palestine in his Instagram stories and definitely has political views, for sure. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching my Little People Big World Roloff family update for May 2024. Check back here for more updates on the Roloff family. Always lots going on with them. And who knows if there are ever any more seasons to come. But I did recap basically most of the season, and you'll find that in my content library. All right, guys, bye.